This episode is about the milk of human kindness and the cottage cheese of moral philosophy. People generally agree that it's good to give to charity, and there are a lot of different charities in the world. In the UK there are over 170,000, and in the US alone there are over 2 million, according to the Google search which I just did. Unless you are unbelievably wealthy, you can't afford to donate to them all. Even if you only gave 1 penny to every charity in the US, you'd still be out $20,000, and you probably wouldn't actually do that much good anyway. So you're going to have to choose, and exactly how you make that decision is a little problematic. You see, every dollar or euro or yen you donate to one group is a dollar that you deny to another group. In giving to charity, you prioritise that charity above all others. To take a real-world example, PewDiePie recently started a water campaign, but every dollar that somebody gives to that is a dollar that they don't give to the Syrian relief effort, or blind people, or kids with leukemia. You have to choose who to help. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm certainly not saying that the water campaign is a bad cause, but there doesn't seem to be a purely objective way of choosing a charity. Now, that doesn't mean you can't offer reasons to donate to one charity above another. Somebody might say that they like donating to animal charities because animals can't speak for themselves, or they like donating to mental health charities because they know somebody who's affected by a mental health disorder. For instance, there's a chance that I might be genetically predisposed towards high cholesterol or dementia, so if I see somebody shaking a tin for the British Heart Foundation or the Alzheimer's Society, I put a couple of coins in. That's a reason, but that's not objective. If you give to animal charities, then somebody can come back to you and say you should give to human charities instead because humans are more important than animals. Somebody might come to me and say that my donating to the Alzheimer's Society is selfishly motivated. So I can offer reasons, but somebody else is always going to have a counter-argument. And which charities you give money to is never going to be a purely objective decision anyway. It's going to be affected by a whole bunch of factors, like how you feel about certain issues, and whether there are any representatives from that charity happen to be on your street at that moment, and a whole bunch of other factors that can be fairly confidently called subjective. Okay, so giving to charity isn't a rationally objective thing. It's linked to subjective factors like how you feel and the opportunities you get to donate and so on. Is that a bad thing? Well, not necessarily, but if charity is subjective, then that kind of takes a lot of force out of statements of the kind, you should give to charity, particularly this charity. If charity is a subjective thing, then it's okay to see an appeal and just go, nah. Nobody can say with authoritative force that you should give to charity any more than they can say that you should like the movie Titanic. They can offer you reasons, but you're perfectly at liberty to reject those reasons if you just don't feel like it. And now that you know that, how will you choose whether or not to donate? This has actually happened to me in real life. Somebody asked me to give to their charity, and I was stuck. I knew that if I gave them £10, that's £10 that I'm not giving to someone else, and I didn't really have any bulletproof reason for doing that. I mean, what am I going to say to a kid with leukemia? Sorry, kid, but the Homeless Foundation guy just happened to be on the street on that particular day? That's not a very good reason. And yet, it seems a little bit Scrooge McDuck to say, I can't choose between all the good causes in the world, so I'm going to keep all my money for myself. What do you guys think? How would you choose a charity? Is it an objective decision? Does it need to be? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and we'll look at them at the end of the next video. Often when discussing this, people get confused and it becomes a debate about consequences versus intentions and why giving to charity is good, so beware of that philosophical trap. Subscribe to join the Philosophans. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. You can let me know whether you'd like the next episode to be about how names work or some religious philosophy by Plato. And if you could find it in your heart to hit that like button, that'd be really charitable of you. I'm up here in the top right hand corner now. You can click on my face to see the previous episode, so let's see what you guys had to say about homophobia. As Matthew Zimmerman Gomes pointed out, I did misuse the term natura nos docet in our last episode. There is an addendum in the description of that episode, and I apologise for misusing the Latin. The arguments still work without putting that label on them, but thank you for keeping me straight on that one. Taylor Aitken said, what about criminals who have less of a choice about committing crimes because of genetic or environmental factors? Are we going to let them off? But Joe McLeod Iredale came back on the Facebook page and said that in the case of criminals, it's different because criminals actually cause harm. I don't want to ride the utilitarian bandwagon all the way, but I'm inclined to side with Joe on this one. Guralag said that whilst you might not have a choice about feeling homosexual, you do have a choice about whether or not to commit homosexual acts, and one's wrong and the other's not. Just like sexual desire is okay, but rape is wrong. I'm not really sure your analogy is parallel there. I think wanting to rape someone and wanting to have sex with them are two very, very different things. Obviously there's a certain amount of sexual desire involved in rape, but isn't rape more about exerting power over someone? Maybe you could come up with a different analogy for your argument, but yeah, dark. Nitmanjura said that homosexuality is immoral because it violates a moral duty we have to procreate, even if it leads to problems like overpopulation. I'm sorry, I just don't agree. I don't think anyone has a moral duty to procreate, since your genetics are your property and you never have to give that away if you don't want to. Also, a moral duty to procreate, even if it leads to overpopulation, that means we can have a moral duty to hurt other people. Are we okay with that? I just denied the premises of that argument, but Taylor Aitken did a brilliant piece of philosophy in the comments and actually showed how its own conclusions were inadequate with what it set out to do. That was a brilliant piece of philosophy. Taylor, I award you 10 kudos points. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That's all we've got time for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!